Guess so. Oh, hey, I didn't expect the camera to be there, but welcome to the wrestling show. Yeah, I didn't have anything planned. I don't know why I keep turning on cameras and just setting them up in random places. Like I get surprised all the time. I don't know why. What should I do today? I could do a review of a show or a pay-per-view. But I was thinking I should do a review of the summer of 2009. Just generally, just some topics, just what was going on in the summer of 2009. Mostly mainstream wrestling because I don't follow too much of the indie stuff. I go to a few indie shows, but I mean, it is what it is. Summer of 2009, well, you had a few deaths, most notably the Misawa. I haven't really watched a lot of Japanese wrestling, but I watched a few matches of his. He was very good. We could definitely use a few more of those types of wrestlers with that kind of dedication over here in WWE or TNA. And the random releases and rehires, like, you got your Kennedy Umaga, Candice Michelle. Who else did they release? Ooh, well, I guess Manu was way before summer. But you guys get my drift. TNA released a few guys. No one that I can really think that was a bad thing. At least in the summer. I know earlier in the year releasing Petey Williams and all that. It's kind of dumb. A lot of drama, mostly in TNA with the whole Kurt Angle, Jeff Jarrett, Karen Angle thing. And the main event Mafia and the Global World Elite or whatever kind of being one mega stable, which makes like a third of their roster, which is a little ridiculous, but yeah. And I guess they're going to have a Knockouts tag champs or something. You watch, they're going to probably make a separate show for the Knockouts. I can see it coming, even if it's just internet-based. I heard talk about that or whatever. And then over in WWE, a lot of stale, stagnant storylines. Oh, you know what WWE and TNA are bad for? Now, I don't want to be all negative. I'll be realistic. Wrestling 300 days a year is hard. We can't even expect 4 or 5 star matches all the time. Heck, maybe not even 3. But, why do we get Hornswoggle versus Chavo Guerrero? Or why do we get Kevin Nash and Mick Foley? And not just once or twice, where you'd think, well, with a Mick Foley, Kevin Nash, you're like, well, they did bad the first time, but maybe the second time they can, muster up some of their old self and put on a good performance. And it's just like, on a consistent basis, they'll constantly give us these matches, which kind of bring down either the show or the pay-per-view it's like, why? It's like, if you really have to do stuff like a Hornswoggle Chavo Guerrero, just make it part of the house show or something. Don't put it on TV, because unless you're talking to 5-year-olds, you want to see a Kevin Nash Mick Foley, or you want to see a Hornswoggle versus Chavo Guerrero, and what are they saying? Yes? So you're like, well, our key demographic is, these little kids, so they said yes. I'm pretty sure if you ask anybody 8 or over, they're going to say that's stupid, or I don't care. I'm just confused on who you're aiming at with some of these matches. But it is what it is. And a lot of random releases. And not as many injuries, but still injuries, mostly due to steroids. Remember, guys, we don't have proof that Batista does steroids. Unless you're in the locker room with Batista while he's undressing, which then I have another question for you. Why are you in the locker room when Batista's undressing? And 2, let's say he is putting a needle in his butt, a syringe, whatever. And, he's injecting himself. How do you know it's hormones or steroids, Maybe he's giving himself an H1N1, vaccine. You don't know, it could be polio. Why do you assume it's steroids? I mean, just because sure, he's really muscular, but it's probably genetics. Yeah, so you have a lot of that. A lot of steroids. The weird Miz, John Cena thing that kind of that died out quick. I don't know what they were expecting from that. If the Miz failed or booking in WWE just got kind of lazy and they're just like, nah, we quit. Like, the fans were liking the matches, but then booking just got, whatever, something. Ooh! Now you have the tag team division in WWE's got shaken up. They're a little better only because they're throwing big names in the tag team division. But I'm sure this will be short-lived. So they got slightly better. You got Big Show and Jericho is going to go against MVP and the World's Strongest Parole Officer. That actually might be good. Mark Henry, sure he's limited in the ring. I wouldn't say he's a good worker, but he's been consistent. He's trying, you know. Over 10 years, you know. He's been part of like the Nation Domination, and I don't know. Even I've, you know, shatted on him before, but he's alright. I mean, I wouldn't put him in the main event, but you know, a good worker, whether you're possibly doing roids or whatnot, I mean, got to keep those guys around. You know, like Goldust, good worker, keep them around. Anyone who's a good worker or passionate, you know, Mr. Kennedy, you know, you should keep those people around, but instead you keep on little gimmicks, so I'm confused. But even with the bad matches, there were a lot of good matches, but some, like I said earlier when I went off, some of the bad matches are just way beyond defense. Plus they do them repeatedly, so it's not even like they didn't know or whatever. So I'm going to give it a B- overall. Still enjoyable, I'm just saying. If you just put a little thought into it, WWE or TNA, just a little thought, maybe a little more, you know, lay down the crack pipe or whatever's going on back there, I will be pretty much totally satisfied. But once again, you shouldn't go towards me or anybody else. Just stop doing dumb stuff.
Xbox! Think you can tell us what to do? Yeah.
Oh, and also in closing, I'm going to be doing military reserve duty soon, so probably be doing a season finale. Happy 1-year anniversary to Unsquared Circle. I don't know. You guys keep doing what you do, now keep doing what I do.